Right, so Chennai Super Kings have won 5 games in a row for the first time since IPL 2014 after they beat Hyderabad in Delhi on Wednesday. What a wonderful win for Chennai. We'll talk about that win, of course. But the main thing, the main talking point for today is, of course, the double header. That's correct. 2 games on Thursday. Mumbai versus Rajasthan being one, and the other game being Delhi, which will be taking on Kolkata Knight Riders in Ahmedabad. So 2 games on Thursday, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's first talk about Chennai versus Hyderabad. Chennai, of course, really dominating that game through and through. Hyderabad winning the toss and electing to bat first. Everybody's surprised. To everybody's surprise, MS Dhoni as well admitted at the toss that he was keen to sort of bowl first because the players had reported that there was a lot of dew in the second half of the innings, and to everybody's surprise, David Warner elected to bat first, citing reasons that they haven't done that yet in the tournament. Interesting, because in conditions that they were in before, it was important to bat first where they couldn't get an opportunity to do that. But here they are in conditions where you need to bowl first, but you choose the other way because you just haven't been able to bat. Slightly surprising move, but I think, that's what he went with, and the results were there to be seen. He found it very difficult to connect. Yes, he did get a 50. Manish Pandey also was in and around and looked strokeful, but batting was clearly entirely difficult on this surface. Very, very clearly for Hyderabad, they did not really look very good, and couple of good partnerships. Certainly, couple of good partnerships. Warner and Pandey, certainly one of them. And they got to a respectable total. They got to it wasn't too bad a total. 171 on any surface is all right, but especially in Delhi. The interesting thing to note is that this is not a typical Delhi surface anymore. It is not slow and low. It does not turn all the time. It does not keep low. It's a place where you can bat, and it seems like batting second is the right thing to do, and especially as proved by Ruturaj, Gayakwad, Faf du Plessis and co for Chennai Super Kings, looked absolutely amazing. Took the attack to Hyderabad's bowling, a couple of handsome strokes by Ruturaj and Faf. I think that's slowly turning out to be one of the partnerships of the IPL, really formidable sort of top order for Chennai Super Kings, and one of the best in the league indeed. Raina not out and Ravindra Jadeja not out towards the end, but that's that. Dhoni didn't even have to put his pads on. And yet he's masterminded Chennai's rise up the table. There's a video that I'm sort of adding in the suggestions now to go and check out why Chennai Super Kings are at the top of the points table and the 3 reasons why they're at the top of the points table. All right, that was Chennai versus Hyderabad. Now let's get to the 2 games on Thursday. The first one, Mumbai versus Rajasthan, which is being played in Delhi again. Win the toss and please bowl first. The team that wins the toss is clearly evident from the game on Wednesday, and both these teams will be keen to do that. They've both had some time off. They both had some breaks, and they would sit down and ponder on what they want to do going forward, especially Mumbai, because while we've been talking about Chennai and Bangalore, no one's really spoken about Mumbai a lot. And out of sight is out of mind, which could prove to be a blessing for Mumbai, to be very honest. At the end of the day, there was so much attention on Mumbai Indians. Everybody was talking about Mumbai Indians, and it seems like that could have gotten to them. They really did not have. They would have liked another win in that Chennai leg. They lost a little too more. They lost one more than they would have asked for. But at the end of the day, they'll not think about that, and they'll go back straight to their practice sessions and try and execute their plans as much as possible. What are the changes we could see for Mumbai? I think they'll certainly play another pacer. I'm not sure if they'll continue with Jayant Yadav at this point of time, not because of a fault of Jayant Yadav. He's been absolutely amazing, and he's improved leaps and bounds in the last couple of years as a spin bowler. But I think they would want to fortify their lower order batting and also get in that extra seamer. I think at this point of time, the surface in Delhi, you could use somebody who can take the pace of the ball. You could use somebody who is a slightly clever operator, and Nathan Coulter-Nile fits that bill very, very well for Mumbai. I think NCN is going to be back, and he'll be brought in to sort of fortify their batting and bowling as well. But I think the middle order has to stand up. Rohit has made runs. He's made difficult runs. He's made sensible runs, and I think he'll make more runs going forward, and that is a big positive for Mumbai. But Pollard, Pandya have to fire. The trio really have to take this take the tournament to the next level for Mumbai Indians and start scoring those runs. The key feature last year was that Mumbai were finishing games very, very well. This time it's not been the case. The runs have been hard to come. If you take a look at Mumbai's scores that they've sort of amassed in this edition of the IPL, 131, 137, 152 and 150. These are not scores that Mumbai by. They are a team that builds that builds plethora of runs. It has a formidable batting lineup, an enviable batting lineup, and I think they would want to sort of get back to that and rediscover their identity, become the Mumbai Indians that everybody knows them to be yet again. So I think, yeah, great teams go back and reassess, and I think they would have done that. The one change for me is Nathan Coulter-Nile, nothing much. On Mumbai's front, I think from Rajasthan's front, they don't really have a lot of options in terms of their foreign personnel. Andrew Tye has left, Stokes is out, Jofra is not around. It's very difficult for Rajasthan at this point of time. So they have to persist with their 4 foreigners. And I don't really see a lot of changes being made to their team. The team that took on the team that won in the last game, of course, for Rajasthan, Yashasvi and Butler opened at the top. Samson, Miller, Dubey, Parag, Tewatia, Morris, Unadkat, Sakari and Mustafizur. I think that's the team that they're going to persist with. Maybe give Kartik Tyagi a go. Maybe not, but I think that they're going to persist with that team. All in all, I think it's important for the likes of Butler and Samson to fire. We've been saying this multiple times on our previews that if Rajasthan are going to succeed, they need their captain to be consistent and they need their senior personnel firing. Morris did win the game for them versus Kolkata in the last occasion, but they need more of that and they need more of it consistently. Yes, Rajasthan have been a sort of a team that has troubled Mumbai in the past, but they would need to do more, even versus this Mumbai Indians team that has sort of struggled in this tournament, to say the least. I think the key matchups for me will be Rohit versus Sakaria. I think that is going to be an interesting one for the young man as well, bowling versus Rohit Sharma. How he goes about that. He's somebody who's picked up a lot of wickets. Interesting to see what he does versus someone the caliber of Rohit Sharma. Morris versus Sky is one I'm looking forward to as well. Morris has been in the pick of wickets. He's picked up 4 in the last game, and I think Surya Kumar Yadav will be keen to stamp his authority on this game as well. He'll come in at 3 or 4 and he could be around in the death overs as well. How he handles Morris at the beginning and the end will be something that I'd be looking forward to. And then of course Bumrah versus Butler at the very top when Rajasthan come out to bat. So these are my 3 contests that I'm looking forward to. Time for predictions. I think it's Mumbai's game. It'll be tough to dislodge Mumbai, especially now that they've lost a few. They would be more determined than ever to win this game. Rajasthan, at this point of time, I feel sorry for them. It's a team that's close to my heart, but at this point of time, I don't see them making a lot of dents, going forward. Certainly because the gap between the top 4 and the bottom 4 is increasing by the day. Let's take a look at the second game, which is Delhi versus Kolkata. It's happening in Ahmedabad, match 25. Please bowl first here. do not make the mistake of batting first here. It's a difficult place to sort of bat first, and then it just becomes very difficult to sort of defend totals. The one trouble let's talk about both teams, right? Let's start with Delhi. The one trouble they faced is finishing games with the ball and the bat. Last time when they took on Bangalore, they struggled with finishing their bowling innings. Of course, AB de Villiers happened to them, but that was aided by a mistake made by Rishabh Pant, of course. All in all, yeah, they've found it difficult to finish games with the ball and with the bat. Of course, they nearly got through, nearly chased down the total set by RCB, but fell short by 1 run. It's been a problem that they face for a long time, and so they have to figure what they need to do there. I think the one thing that Delhi need to do is play Enric Nortje. Please get him back into the team. It's important. It's high time that Delhi do that. And I think the foreigner that you probably will have to sit out in this predicament is either Steve Smith or Marcus Stoinis. You can't sit out Shimron Hetmeyer. For simple reasons that he's come into form, he's striking the ball, and you need firepower in the middle. So it's either going to be Steve Smith or Marcus Stoinis. If they bench Shimron Hetmeyer, I think that'll be very sad. That certainly will be very, very unfortunate. But at this point, that is what I think it could be. With Kolkata, I think last time they looked good, but this more than Delhi, this game will matter to Kolkata because they want to build on the confidence that they've acquired in the last game. Simple as that. And I think they did a few things well last game. All the bowlers clicked. Mavi, Cummins, Krishna, Chakravarti, and Narayan all clicked. They all picked up a few wickets, and then of course towards the end, Morgan and Karthik were unbeaten as they chased down that humble total versus Punjab in the last game. So I think they would want to build on that. They certainly would want to build on that confidence, and I think this is going to be a crucial game also because they're playing a team that is in the top four. So I've been saying this repeatedly: the top four and the bottom four, the gap is increasing, and for any of the bottom four to climb into the top four, they have to beat one of the top four teams, and then that gap sort of reduces. I should rather say. So it's going to be a big game, bigger game for Kolkata than for Delhi. But I think if you ask my predictions, it's going to be a close one. Kolkata have been suspect of sort of making more mistakes than doing the right things. They did the right things in the previous game. Can they replicate it again? I think they can. Delhi have a few problems at this point of time. I honestly think it's not a settled team. They might look good on the points table, but I don't think it's a settled team. All in all, I think I'm going to side with Kolkata on this one and Mumbai for the first game. It's going to be a great Thursday. We had a fantastic Wednesday, especially if you were a Chennai fan. But it's going to be a good Thursday. All in all, two very good games at two new venues. And it's the same destination for you, www.cricketnews.com, as you follow all of the action in IPL 2021 and like, share and subscribe to us at all times. My name is Sumedhh. This is cricketnews.com.